Okay, I'm going to tell a story called Two Little Chicks. I could write it, but I don't have the patience, so I'm just going to say it. There was a story around when I was 8, and I was playing at the city center. That's where we lived. So there was a square, like a garden, where the kids played. And we found, like the kids found these little chicks that were colored, like those chicks that come in colors. You know what I'm talking about. By the way, the two chicks were a couple, and I think no one wanted to take them home, and I took them. It turns out the chicks belonged to the neighbor across the street and across the garden there, the square. So not to be accused of theft. As a kid, I returned the chicks, right, to the neighbors. We knew the neighbors, obviously. So when I put the two chicks down, as I remember, I don't remember the details. It could have been one chick only. Let's just say the colors of the chicks are green and blue, right, or pink. Could be blue and pink, whatever. So I just burst bawling because I didn't want to return. I have grown attached to the little chicks already as a kid, you can imagine, right? Imagine kids being attached to Tamagotchis. So obviously, so the story was, the chicks were on the street, loose on the street, because the mother of the house, the grandmother of the house, didn't want to deal with chicks, so she just released them out. The kids of the house, which we knew, apparently they knew it. I don't remember. I just know that no one really cared for the chicks, so they said, just take it, it's not a problem. So I raised the chicks, right, and there was an offspring, and it was all beautiful. So then one day we decided that it was time to eat one of them chickens. They all became, right, chicken. In writing, that would be organized. You see how it... But so we called another neighbor, right, a known neighbor, an acquaintance, that knew how to prepare a chicken, right? And it just turned out that she pulled the head, right? That's how you apparently, I don't know, you kill chicken, right, for a meal, to prepare for a meal. So it was in front of me, and I burst bawling, right? It was horrible to see. I didn't want to touch that chicken. I didn't become vegetarian. I eat chicken. It's one of my favorite, until recently, until 2020. That's when I started getting, for some reason, disgusted with chicken. So I was crying because I saw the chicken being strangled. I don't know if it's a chicken, right? And it was a drama. They took me to the neighbor's house, and I didn't eat chicken. I ate something. It was a Sunday, right? So it just turned out, after that, I don't know if we continued getting the other chickens, right? Because there were a lot in our backyard. It was a walled backyard, and they had the chicken barn as well. So it was just a promise. My dad promised that the two original chickens they had names, right? They were grown up. They wouldn't be eaten, right? They would never be touched. So that was an agreement. So that's when the movie part, that usually is that connection. It's very odd. It's very interesting as well. So I watched Zebra in the Kitchen. Zebra in the Kitchen is about this boy who goes to work in a zoo. I'm laughing because it's funny. He goes to work in a zoo, and then he sets the animals free for some reason. Right? I don't remember the details. And then obviously chaos is set in the city, and the whole story is like a moral tale to tell that the animals have to be taken care of. They can't just be set in the wild, right, where the humans are. So, because that movie kind of touched me, and I'm very easily impressed with movies, that's the thing, right? I get involved. There's several elements that you can look for. Why people get engaged with stories or books or literature, right? Why is that strong? It just is, right? I think that happens to everyone. It's very average, run of the mill, I guess, right? I thought, like, oh, I want to be like that boy, right? You can see the mind of a 9-year-old. I don't know how long it took between the time I adopted the two chicks and this event. So I went and opened the chicken barn, and the chicks flew. I did never thought that they would just flew, and the whole family had to be mobilized, and the neighbors to bring that amount of chicken who just flew off the wall. And then it was chaos, and I understood the moral lesson of the movie, obviously. So after that, I don't know how long as well. There was one of the chickens had that disease. No, I didn't research. I didn't check the name of disease, in which they start just drooling and they lower their heads, and they basically it's the end, and everyone else was contaminated. The whole chicken barn was, and then I remember my mom calling me to say it happened to the two original chicks, right? The two original chicks. But she came to show me that the original had the disease, and she said, like, we kept our promise, so she's going to die of natural diseases. And that involvement of a kid's mind with TV, with very profound ideas that a kid's sensibility can pick up on, and that's the story.